this week on the Bubble Chat.
Fuck ICE, fuck Trump, fuck them all as a government official, whatever the hell you want to call it, on my Tupac shit. But I saw the video. It was heartbreaking.
One sister will come out with a product, and her and another sister are the faces of the brand.
Yeah, they help each other out, family wise.
And I believe that that's something that the way we have done as far as the hair product goes. Just already has very, very beautiful hair. She's a hair breed. I mean, come on now.
It's vital that we individually observe those environments ourselves. In fact, I would take it a step further. Let's start with something starting like safety mapping.
He ain't the first star from a show that has been accused of this. Huh?
And I said, nor was he the second star, nor was he the third.
Mm-hmm. And he won't be the last. I just feel like the crime itself is, I hate to say it. No, I don't hate to say it. It's disgusting. It's a child, brother. Under 18 is a child. 17 and a half, child.
Welcome back to another episode of The Bubble Chat, the podcast where we pop surface level talk and get to the core of stories, trends, and ideas shaping our world. I'm your host, Adonis Concierge, and I'm absolutely thrilled about today's session. We have a very special show lined up for you, packed up with the kind of honest conversation that you know that you came here for.
Now, before we jump into the deep end, I have a quick announcement. We actually have an incredible guest co-host joining us for next week's episode. I won't reveal who it is yet, but they bring a fresh perspective and a wealth of insight that I know you all are going to love. It's going to be a fantastic session, so definitely make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcast so you don't miss that drop.
In this episode, we're stepping outside our comfort zones to explore the bubbles we all live in, those social, digital, professional circles that define our perspectives, whether it's dissecting the latest cultural shifts or sharing personal anecdotes that challenge the status quo. We're here to expand the narrative and maybe even burst a few preconceptions along the way.
We will be tracking some of the most requested questions from our community, ranging from how to maintain authenticity in a curated world to the importance of finding your inner circle. We've got a mix of laughter, logic, and a few aha moments that we've been prepping all week for. So let's get on this ride. Grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, let's get into it. You're listening to The Bubble Chat, and the conversation starts right now. And as the great Wendy Williams used to say, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing, all right?
What's going on,
team? Exhausted, but I'm hanging in there. Today has been, let's just say today's been a long day for me, but I'm just hanging in there, and I'm just grateful that I'm here with, of course, you all. So, and that's the biggest blessing I can ever take for granted, to be honest.
Thank you for having us, honestly.
No problem.
Sorry, 1 second. I had to bring up everything all over again. Okay, I'm ready now.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So, getting into our first story today, we have to talk about the heartbreaking news coming out of Minneapolis. Earlier this week, a 37-year-old woman named Renee Nicole Good was fatally shot by an ICE agent identified as Jonathan E. Ross, according to closely matched court records. During a federal immigration operation, Renee was a mother of three and a local poet with no criminal record, and her death has sparked massive protests and a lot of tension between local and federal officials. The details are pretty heavy. The Department of Homeland Security is calling it an act of self-defense, claiming she tried to use her car as a weapon. However, video footage has surfaced that appears to show her trying to drive away from the agent before she was shot. The mayor of Minneapolis and the governor of Minnesota have been extremely vocal, basically telling ICE agents to leave the city while the FBI agent has now taken over the investigation. It's a situation where the narratives are completely clashing. On one side, you have the administration labeling her as a domestic terrorist, And on the other, you have a community and family mourning, a woman they describe as incredibly compassionate and kind. It's a lot to process, especially with the city already on edge from a previous high profile incidents. So, Bubblers, I'm really curious to get your take on this. When you see such a massive divide between official government reports and the video evidence being shared by the public, how does that affect the trust we have in these institutions?
I am honestly sitting here completely heartbroken and just overall speechless about this whole thing. It's hard to find the right words when you see a tragedy like this unfold in real time. The one thing I keep coming back is how anyone, especially the current president, could look at that footage and call this self-defense. We've seen ICE raids ramping up for years, and it makes me wonder, how did these agents and officers think they could just hide behind a badge, take the life of an innocent person, specifically a person of color, and that and then basically walk away with a high five and no consequences. I am just sick of the butts. I'm tired of hearing people, especially within the Republican Party, mustering up the gall to say, I'm heartbroken for Renee's family, but she should have respected the request. She was the mother of three. Her youngest is only 6, and her father passed away. I mean, and their father passed away back in 2023. Now, those children have to face the rest of their lives without a mother because of a split-second cow's decision. California Representative Eric Swalwell really hit the nail on the head during one of the press conferences. He called this act what it is, a horror movie. He pointed out that in Renee's glove compartment there weren't weapons, there were just teddy bears. He explained that she kept them there as a distraction and a source of comfort to keep her kids calm in the car. That is the threat, and they are defending. And let's not forget, this isn't an isolated incident. Just 1 week before Renee's life was taken away, we lost Keith Porter to the same kind of violence. And Renee is not the first person to be murdered by ICE, nor is Keith Porter. Over 30 people were killed by ICE last year, and I've had it up to here with people defending this behavior without even looking at the actual facts. It's a pattern of callousness, and it's bending to stop, and it needs to stop right now.
I agree with you 100%. Nephew, how you feel, T-Mac?
Honestly, I hope I don't get too much backlash for saying this, but fuck ICE, fuck Trump, fuck them all as a government official, whatever the hell you want to call it, on my Tupac shit. But I saw the video, it was heartbreaking. Like they say that she was trying to run over the agent, and you can clearly see her wheels were twisted away from the agent. I mean, I'm not saying they can't get gun hungry, but I did do some research. The officer that did the shooting, he actually got hurt from a previous job. I'm not saying he deserved to be on FMLA or some type of shit, but if you so jumpy, maybe you should took some time off. I'm not saying that's why he did what he did. I'm saying it's wrong either way,
Mm-mm.
but it's just one of them things where it sucks all the way around. I'm sure as a human being, the ICE agent probably hurt, but like I said, it's definitely touchy. I feel for her family, her children. This is something that, we're going to have to see somebody's name on a hashtag again. It's depressing, really. How you feel
Yeah.
about it?
I saw an interview. Joy Reid, remember Joy Reid from the anchor from CNN? She has her own The Joy Reid Show here on YouTube, but she was talking about there is an anti-ICE organization that is constructed of white people because people of color cannot present themselves in front of the authorities, ICE, or the police because they will be reprimanded and in custody and all these things, right? So they have formulated this. She was a part of that group. I don't know what the group is called, but let's just say it was called Fight ICE, right? So she's in this group. Where they were in Minneapolis, this was a suburb. Like the neighbor was a doctor that they did not let help administer any kind of help. Once they shot her, they did not. He shot her and walked away. He turned his back and started directing traffic. They did not try to help preserve her life in any shape, form, or fashion. So those are some details that they are really leaving out. Aside from the several camera angles of video footage that shows totally opposite and contradictory of the narrative that the government is trying to put in. Also in the on the document that we just went over, it said that the FBI is taking over. We can't trust those fuckers.
Nope.
They're down with the Trump. So, prayers up to the families, to that community, and really over all of us, because at this point, it's just like Cardi B say, bitch, it ain't safe, it ain't safe, it ain't safe, it ain't safe. It's just what it is.
Crazy.
So yeah, we're looking out for everybody in our own little ways. But moving
Exactly.
forward,
Exactly. Well, of course, on behalf of everyone here at the Bubble Chat, our hearts go out to Renee Nicole Good's family, her wife Rebecca, and her 3 children, and every single person in the Minneapolis community affected by this devastating loss, and anyone who is affected in general. We know that many of you are feeling the same sense of heartbreak and are looking for tangible ways to help. In terms of direct support, an official GoFundMe was established for Renee's family, and an incredible show of solidarity. It raised over $1.5 million in just a few days. Because of that milestone, the organizers have recently closed that page to donations. However, they've encouraged anyone who still wants to help to direct the generosity towards organizations that are fighting these battles on a systemic level every single day. If you're financially able to help, we recommend checking out our 2 major resources. First, there's the Human Rights Watch, which does the vital, which works, which has been. First, there's Human Rights Watch, which works around the clock of investigating and exposing human rights abuses. Let me start over. On behalf of the Bubble Chat, on behalf of everyone here at the Bubble Chat, our hearts go out to Renee Nicole Good's family, her wife Rebecca, and 3 children, and every single person in the Minneapolis community affected by this devastating loss. We know that many of you are feeling the same sense of heartbreak and are looking for tangible ways to help. In terms of direct support, an official GoFundMe was established for Renee's family, and an incredible show of solidarity. It actually raised over $1.5 million in just a few days. Because they've reached that milestone, the organizers have currently closed the page to donations. However, they've encouraged anyone who still wants to help to direct them that generosity towards organizations that are fighting these battles on a systemic level every single day. If you're financially able, we highly recommend checking out 1 or 2 of the major resources. First, there's Human Rights Watch, which does the vital work of investigating and exposing human rights abuses globally to ensure that those in power are held accountable. Then there is the National Immigration Law Center, an organization dedicated specifically to defending the rights of low-income immigrants and their families through impact litigation and policy advocacy. We will have the direct links to both of these organizations in our show notes and episode description. Even a small amount can help fuel the legal work and the investigations necessary to prevent tragedies like this from being swept under the rug. Let's use our collective voices and our resources to help make a difference where it's most needed.
That's right, that's right, that's right. So moving from the so heavy to a bit of celebrity black excellence in entrepreneurship. We have to talk about the queen herself, Beyonce's hair care line, Cécred. It's officially taken over the industry. It was just named prestigious brand of the year, and the numbers coming out are absolutely staggering. specifically the Restoration Edge drops, alone reported clearing $100 million in sales. It's clear that this just isn't another celebrity vanity product. It's a massive business success that is actually delivering results for people with all different hair textures. What I love about this story is the legacy behind it. Bey has been vocal about how this brand was inspired by her childhood, growing up sweeping hair in her mother Tina Knowles' hair salon. Well, now she's seeing that dream reach the shelves of major retailers like Ulta and becoming the staple in people's daily routine. Despite all the initial internet chatter questioning if she even used her own products, she shut that down pretty quickly with those natural hair tutorials, proving that the science and the results are real. It's just another example of Beyonce being a business. As Jay-Z would say, she built an inclusive brand that focuses on her hair, scalp vitality, and moisture, filling the gap with and in a luxury market that often overlooks certain hair types. From rice and rose, protein ritual to the edge drops, people are obsessed. The brand is only continuing to expand as we move into 2026. We see so many celebrities launch beauty and hair product brands these days, but Beyonce seems to have found a different level of trust with her audience. Why do you think Cécred is succeeding where so many other celebrity brands have failed and are failing? Well, it's probably because she ain't got no fake coochie hair on no pussy, on no panty crotch. Okay, let's just start there. And I really don't hear much about Tracy Ellis Ross. I know she had a product. Didn't she have a product?
Her, Gabrielle Union, a lot of them
Yeah.
have hair products.
It's like we kind of heard about it, but we didn't see what it was doing and or what it was giving. I mean, it's not too late. You guys could make, I don't know their daughter's name, Zaya.
Are
Oh
you talking about
yeah,
the twin daughter?
Zaya
Oh,
Wade,
No. I'm talking about,
Gabrielle Union stepson,
yes.
Dwayne Wade's.
I mean,
Yeah,
oh,
I mean
Gabrielle Union's
stepdaughter. I
son.
and
apologize.
Gabby's,
Her
yes.
name is, I think her name
Oh
is,
Zaya Wade.
oh, it's the transgender daughter?
yeah,
Yes, I think
it's
Okay.
Zaya.
they should have made Zaya Wade the face of that product.
You want to know what's kind of funny and petty now that I think about it?
They should have made her the face of the product. They should have just did it all. I mean, this is not to jump stories and celebrities, but we need to take a page from the Kardashians.
I'm gonna let you continue before
One
I.
sister, one sister will come out with a product, and her and another sister are the faces of the brand. You
Yeah,
know,
they help each other out family
you know,
wise, of course.
and I believe that that's something that the way
We don't
we
do.
have done as far as the hair product goes. Tracy Ellis Ross already has very, very beautiful hair. She's a half breed. I mean, come on now, right? So,
Yeah.
but when it comes to Beyonce, what I will say is that yes, she's a real businesswoman. She does know how to capitalize. But the thing is, I think she's like genuine and a little authentic. I ain't gonna say honest, but we have seen her hair journey.
Mm.
Fuzzy ass, nappy ass, thick ass edges back in the day, the blendery when the wigs first came out, how we didn't know about lace fronts. I
We showed
remember,
it.
I remember Naughty Girl. That shit was flying in the air like they was making cotton candy in the machine. It was just looking like that smoke on the corner. A nephew, camera and shit, and we didn't know what the fuck was going on. You know what I'm saying? But then in
And
the
when I
next
look
thing, but go ahead.
when I look at Beyonce's success with Cécred, I do hope I said it right. I'm probably going to butcher this word, so if I do butcher that term, I do apologize. It's
But
not just about her star power, it's about a deep-rooted legacy of entrepreneurship that she's been carrying on. I've actually touched on this a little bit on the Bubble Chat before, but her entrepreneurial spirit really stems from her grandmother, who was a seamstress. And that talent and drive then passed on to her mother, to her mother Tina and her uncle Johnny. They were the ones who literally sewed Beyonce's dreams into reality when Destiny's Child was starting out. And think about that iconic speech she gave at the CFDA Awards in 2016. She talked about how in the early days, high-end labels didn't want to dress for curvy black girls. They couldn't afford designer dresses, and her mom was being rejected from showroom after showroom. So Tina and so Tina and Johnny used their incredible talent and creativity to design and sew all their early costumes. So to see
Uncle
how
Johnny made my dress.
now, from those humble beginnings with Destiny's Child and to a monumental solo career, incredibly successful tours, including the Renaissance. I will never forget the Renaissance tour and the Cowboy Carter one. It's a testament of unwavering vision and hard work. And that brings us to the significance of Black girl hair in all of this, which I just want to touch brief on. It's not just the hair, it's the history, culture, and identity. In pre-colonial African societies, hair was a powerful indicator of a person's identity, their status, age, ethnic group, and even their martial status. It was adorned with intricate braids, twists, and styles that communicated so much without words. But then during slavery, and slavery forcibly shaved the heads of Black people as a brutal way to strip them from their identity and culture. And that act of dehumanization tried to sever the connection up to their heritage and make them feel as human. For generations, Black women were forced to try and confirm they earn to Eurocentric beauty standards, often hiding their natural hair or chemically straightening it to avoid discriminations in schools, workplaces, and societies at large. So the creation of cassette isn't just about selling products. It's part of a larger movement to reclaim and celebrate Black hair in all of its glory. So it's about providing hair high quality, scientifically backed products that nourish and supported textured hair, allowing Black women and girls to embrace their natural beauty and pride. It's a full circle moment that honors her family's legacy and the rich history of Black hair.
Nephew, I have a question.
Hmm.
Are you chat GBTing your answers in this discussion?
Maybe.
I'll rest my case.
Oh, Tish, any thoughts?
Not on this one.
I was thinking if Beyonce did a commercial and was mixing in, hold up, let me fix my hair. Pat your weave, ladies. Pat your weave, ladies. Like all the innuendos that she said about hair, or like the Kardashians have a commercial and it's playing Solange. Don't touch my hair.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That'd be so dope.
It
Kudos
would
to
be.
Beyonce. Kudos to Beyonce because I heard they was in debt. They say loans on loans on loans is interest and more payback, more payback, more payback. They say that's why she didn't make $1 billion because she owed some people some money in the back. But that's not my business. Let me stop gossiping. You ain't heard it from me.
Alrighty, well, changing
Nice.
gears a little bit, I wanted to share something that I came across a video on TikTok that really stopped me in my tracks. I found a video from a creator named Dana Eve. She's a criminology expert who uses her platform to teach people how to stay safe in real life scenarios that most of us don't even think about until it's too late. She covers everything from elevator safety, rideshare red flags, and staying in hotels. It's that chilling truth. We all think that it won't happen to me. But then we see the news and realize how quickly things can take a turn. In one of her recent videos, Santa broke down a scenario involving a simple game of hide and seek. Now, we all grew up playing this, is right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Adonis, have you been playing hide and seek before?
I remember how to go get it. Yes.
Same concept.
Okay.
Yes.
But she explained the real ill danger that this game can lead to, like a child accidentally getting trapped or even going missing. While she was giving safety tips for parents, one piece of advice really stuck with me. She says you should always check for danger spots first before checking the normal hiding spots. The idea is that if a child is in a place where are actually at risk, like a chest, a laundry machine, or somewhere they could suffocate, every second counts. You don't want to waste 10 minutes checking under the bed or behind the curtains while they're in a high risk area. I could honestly go on and on about the insights she shares, but I'm going to leave a link to her platforms in the description along with her book, Street Smarts, and the original video so you can see for yourself. It really changes the way you look at a harmless game when you view it through the lens of situational awareness. It's about being aware, not in fear, as she always says. So, as we're seeing in more of this safety creator content blowing up on social media, do you think this kind of hypervigilance helps parents feel more empowered, or do you think it adds the anxiety of raising kids in a modern world?
Think that having broke best friends is slightly ghetto. Unfortunately, not everybody is raised the same. You know, when I'm playing hide and seek, my first thought isn't, they'll never find me in that refrigerator. Unfortunately, not everybody thinks that way. I actually saw this really sad video where, unfortunately, a child passed away because they hid in a refrigerator, thinking that they will win the game because who would think to search a refrigerator? It's good that she's being aware about certain things, but I feel like it starts at home. You gotta teach your kids to still be safe even while playing a game because that game should be very far from deadly. You shouldn't think hide and seek, hide and go find somebody dead. You know, it's kind of depressing. But, just start at home, teach your kids, hey, it's a game. Let's have fun with it. You don't necessarily have to win by never being found again. That's not fun,
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
What y'all think?
I'm having PTSD all the way down, and I'm thanking God that I'm still alive. In my grandmother's household, at 860 Willow Street in motherfucking West Oakland, I was the youngest grandchild at the time.
Mhm.
They would roll me up in the sheet and play motherfucking jump rope. I have been in the dryer. I have been in the washing machine. I've been in the freezer. I've been in the refrigerator. Bitch, I've been in the deep freezer. I've been under the sink. I've been
Wow.
abused. I have been abused. I have been abused. I have been put in a box. I have been put in a Charmin tissue box. I don't know where we got that damn case of tissue from, but in it I went. And they would bet. It wasn't hide and go seek. It's can you go find Donald? That was the fucking game.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a deadly game. It
I
really
don't have
shouldn't.
I don't have nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say. All I can say is that I didn't pick out the spots. They did because they were betting, can you find him? Where did we put him? It was a fuck sick game of hide and seek. But I made it. I survived. Because I
Amen.
never voluntarily went into the places. I was assigned.
Clock it.
I'm
Clock
gonna
it.
go.
I believe we can actually push this advocacy even further because, I mean, beyond those immediate tips, I've been thinking about.
Yo, if you hit me with the chat GPT nephew, I'm gonna drop kick you with my short leg tonight. It's gonna happen.
Anyways,
Give me an authentic answer. Don't you hit me with the
answer.
I know your address.
It's an authentic answer.
I know your address. I just want to keep that in mind. I know your
Well,
address.
I believe we can push this advocacy even further because even those immediate tips, I've been thinking about how we, not just as parents, but as older siblings, cousins, teachers, or even school district staff can be much more proactive. Once kids reach a certain age where they're heading to a friend's house, the park, school, or a relative's house, I think it's vital that we individually observe those environments ourselves. In fact, I would take it a step further. Let's start with something starting like safety mapping. Like teach that safety map to the kids, whether it's a quick sketch on a whiteboard at home or even a short PowerPoint presentation for the family. And take what you observed and visually map out the green zones versus the red zones. For example, if you're at a local playground, you can literally highlight which areas are clear for play and which ones are strictly off limits. If it turns from a lecture into a visual game, they can actually remember. And the absolute priority is ensuring kids understand the dangers of enclosed spaces. We prioritize we have to be explicit. Never hide anywhere that can seal or trap you in. And we're talking about those death traps like abandoned refrigerators, dryers, or even a car with an open trunk. And here is the reality we have to teach them. It doesn't matter who the car belongs to, even if it's the moms, even if it's the dads, even if it's the grandmothers, even if it's the grandfather, even if it's anyone you actually know, even if that car actually belongs to anyone you know, an open trunk or an unlocked door is an invitation for disaster. There's a high risk that a child could get trapped and face heart stroke or worse. A stranger could steal that vehicle without knowing a child is hidden inside. And we have to drill it into that out of sight should never mean trapped or out of reach. Safety isn't about being scared, it's about being prepared.
Great.
That was ChatGPT. That was ChatGPT.
Shut up.
I don't trust you, nephew. I just shared. That was helpful. It's all right. It's all right. I get over it. I'm gonna get over it.
Well, switching gears to a little disturbing news that's been breaking across the industry today. Former Disney Channel actor Matt Prokop, known for his role in Geek Charming, has been arrested. According to TMZ, he is facing incredibly serious charges related to the possession of child pornography. Law enforcement officials reportedly executed a search warrant at his home in Texas where they allegedly discovered a significant amount of illicit material. This isn't the first time Prokop has been in the headlines for legal or personal issues, but these specific allegations have sent shockwaves through the industry and his former fan base. It's a shocking reminder of the dark realities that can exist behind the scenes of the squeaky clean image, often protected by child stars. As the legal process,
Especially Disney ones.
yeah. As the legal process begins, the details coming out of prison are deeply unsettling, and if convicted, he could be facing substantial time in prison. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this.
He ain't the first star from a
Nor the
show that
second
has been
star.
accused of this. Huh?
And I said, nor was he the second star, nor was he the third.
And he won't be the last. I just feel like the crime itself is, I hate to say it. No, I don't hate to say it. It's disgusting. It's a child, brother. Under 18 is a child. 17 and a half, child. It's disgusting. I hope that he
The
finds
day
the help.
before their 18th birthday, a child.
It's a minor. And I just feel like for his behalf, I hope he gets the help that he needs. I hope that this is something that's not hindering him to be who he wants to be later in life. Because I mean, I can't think to who even has a collection of that stuff, you know? That's why to me this is so mind-boggling. I don't even know, thank God, I don't even know where to go to even get that type of stuff, you know?
Well, to give some really heavy context to this, Matt Prokop's history with these kinds of issues goes back. He dated actress and Gig Charming co-star Sarah Hyland for about 4 years, from 2010 to 2014, and what she allegedly went through was horrifying. Based on reports from that time, she was in a severe domestic violence situation, and it got
Was she a
so
minor?
bad that she filed, real quick, sorry, Adonis. And it got so bad that she filed for a temporary restraining order in 2014, claiming he had physically and verbally abused her, even choking her during an argument. By October of that same year, a judge made that restraining order permanent. It's just so crazy to me, and we've seen these patterns so many times. Yeah, these actors who were kids or teens that we all looked up to, and they fall into what people call the Disney curse. It's this tragic cycle where as they try to change their image or transition to adulthood, and they
That-
end up in these incredibly problematic or even dangerous situations, substance abuse, domestic violence, or worse. And honestly, it's not just limited to Disney. We see this curse follow people across the entire industry. Look at someone like Austin Jones. He was a huge YouTuber known for his a cappella covers, someone who had a massive following of young fans. And now he's serving a 10-year sentence in federal prison for the receipt of sending a tutorial of how to specifically to girls that are under the age of 18 of how to twerk. His earliest release date is actually coming up next December, and because of the Illinois state law, he will have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. It makes you realize that the person we see on the screen or in a YouTube video is often a world away from the who they are behind closed doors. We're seeing these patterns of abuse and exploitation repeat over and over again, and it's exhausting to see more victims left in the wake. How you feel about it, Adonis?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I had an edible, so I just had a brain fart. Um, I blame Mr. Walt Disney. Yes, I need Brittany, I need Justin,
He's frozen. He
I
ain't got
need
nothing to
that
do with
girl,
it.
I need that girl that's from In Vogue. No, that was me just with my head up. I need that girl that's from In Vogue. I need all these damaged children from Disney to band together like Care Bears. And do the Care Bears stare into Walt Disney's eyes and tell him you ain't right? Because I've said this pertaining to all different type of scenarios where the artist does not fare well or they don't get the fair end of the stick, I should say. And so it's like sometimes, especially as a child, Miley, go on throw Miley up in there, throw Miley on up in there too. Go on throw Miley.
She
Um,
found her way back.
yes, I'm just saying like it is kind of unfair to be talented sometimes. When the chips fall at the end of the day, when the lights go down and the people leave the building, it seems like the talent is being swept up in the corner with the rest of the trash. You know,
Hmm.
they it looks. I remember Hannah Montana. I remember Hannah Montana, little white girl on TV. I
Yes.
remember when she
And that
tried
show's
to.
going to be 20 years old soon.
Yes, and they were oh, what was that? I love every girl in the world. They was talking about I want Miley. I mean, like she was a
How at me
thing.
when you're 18,
She
Miley
was
Cyrus.
a thing
Hmm.
just because she wanted to be her name. Coco Jones, who all be everywhere we know them as what's the other girl name? What is that? Selena Gomez? Wasn't that iCarly?
Miranda
iCarly?
Cosgrove.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's like all these things, it's like the kids become a gimmick. And then even that little itty bitty teeny one. Y'all know
Sky.
that's what I'm talking about. She looked like a snorkel.
Sky.
Yes.
Hmm.
Like her size is gonna work against her for the rest of her.
She'll always
You know what
be
I'm
looked
saying?
at as a
But still,
child for
it's
sure.
like she could, if Disney could keep her forever, they would. Because you're not gonna go past 18 on TV. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
it's such an unhealthy cycle, and I feel sad about him in these pictures of his baby booty holes and things because, Lord have mercy, you trying to fuck your fan base?
Sometimes I feel like that's all they got.
That's not baby. Because he got 16 million fans, baby. He is a fan of 16 million children. I'm just, I'm gonna let the mic drop right there. I'm gonna let the mic
Well, that
drop.
was a lot to get
Yeah.
through, and I think
It
we all need a
was.
second to just breathe and reset. We're going to step away for a very quick break, but don't go anywhere. We have so much to get into, and you definitely won't want to miss this rest of this conversation. We'll be right back. You're listening to The Bubble Chat. And we are back. Now it's time for one of my favorite parts of the show, our throwback topic segment. This is where we take a step away. This is where we take a step away from the current 2026 headlines and look back at the news, pop culture, and moments that happened before this podcast even existed. It's all about those "Where were you when" stories shaped into that shaped the world we're living in right now. Go ahead and spill it to you, Adonis.
For our throwback topic today, we have to revisit the moment that that literally redefined live television to the 2022 Oscars. Well, it had been nearly 4 years, but honestly, the image of Will Smith walking onto that stage and slapping the shit out of Chris Rock still burns in everyone's memory. It started with a joke that Rock had made about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head. And she was bald headed and did it for G.I. Jane, but we have later learned that she struggled with alopecia. Well, what followed was the moment was unscripted chaos that left the world wondering and then ponder, was that a bit? The fallout was immediate and massive. Will ended up winning Best Actor for King Richard just 40 minutes later, giving a tearful speech about being a vessel of love, you violent motherfucker. And you know he cracked Jada in the face on a boat, allegedly by Brother Bilal. And that's why she looked like how she looked. That's why she don't look the same. She looked like an owl now. But anyway, um, but the Academy eventually banned him from all the events for 10 years. They sparked an endless debate about toxic masculinity, the boundaries of comedy, and how we protect Black women. Well, Chris Rock mostly stayed quiet until his Netflix special, Selective Outrage, dropped a year later when he finally let loose his side of the story. It's one of those rare moments where pop culture and real life consequences collided so violently that people are still picking up their sides today. You had Team Will Camp saying that he was just defending his wife's honor, and then you had Team Chris saying there's no excuse for physical violence over a joke. But looking back at the slap, with a few years of perspective, do you think that Will can ever fully recover his status as America's sweetheart? Or did that one moment permanently break or stain the trust that he had with his audience? I will say, is Quincy Jones still alive?
The musician, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Don't quote me on. I
Yeah.
think he is.
Google it real quick.
Let me look it up. Let me look it up.
Yeah, Quincy.
I think he's still with us.
When
That's
Quincy
Quincy
Jones, the
Brown.
musician, right?
So
Yes, Quincy Jones.
yeah,
Him hell
he's
alive?
still with. No, he
Oh
passed away
no,
November
he passed
3rd,
away just a
2000.
couple of years
Oh, just
ago,
2000. Yeah.
last year?
2024.
Okay, so let me tell you what had happened. Michael Jackson, Will Smith, and LL Cool J
Oh.
all were hand personally managed by Quincy Jones. There is nothing that Will Smith cannot overcome or conquer because he's already gotten past it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? He already got past it. And that like it is a double-edged sword. You say, oh, he was defending his wife's honor, but we know what type of bitch that she was, and we know what they done did to Brashear Gray. Got him running around here on Twitter, getting blowed open and things. Talking about the mentorship, the crazy shit, the Jada back there masturbating, Will over there slitting her throat, Jaden bringing all his boyfriends home. I mean, it's a mess on top of a mess on top of a mess. And none of that has really put a blemish on the dynasty of Will Smith. Not of Will
If
Smith,
I may,
because the only mistake he did was, if you look at it that way, he was defending his wife's honor. That's
here.
the only bad thing he did. So you kind of
Was
commend.
slapping him and was slapping Chris Rock on the stage in front of millions of people.
Yes, but you look at it that the only wrong thing he did, the only aha moment, the only scandal, not cheating, not his. We talk about his sexuality. We talk about them not being married. We talk about them they doing Scientology, all these things, but it didn't put a blemish on him. You kind of would want to commend him because he was defending his wife.
Hmm.
It didn't really change.
Well, Well, if I may interject, honestly, that showed the world that Will Smith is still that nigga. He ain't never gonna stop being that nigga. I feel like with all the rumors that happened before the slap, they were saying Jada was cheating, Will is a
She was,
cuckold.
and she
Yeah,
was.
and that may be true, but this in that moment, Will showed y'all that he gonna always forever be that nigga. Because honestly, he should have slapped the shit out of Chris Rock years ago. Chris Rock has been on their ass. Okay, I did my research. Okay, this ain't the first joke that Chris Rock has said. It's just the first one he said in
Right.
front of them.
Well,
It's the
that's what I
first
was
one he
gonna say.
said in
See, he
front
said
of
it in
them.
the room. We was in the room
Yes. So Will handled that.
because
Shoot,
this your
as the
last
light
time
skinned
on
king he
stage.
was, thank you. So
Yes,
this,
was
so
the
he
last
ain't gonna
Tola
never
was gonna go beat up Wendy Williams at the. It was it that like that? Was it like that? Well, fuck you
when
up.
the girls popped up on Wendy.
Yes, yeah, they didn't get her, but they was
No,
like
but they popped up
Whitney
on
was
her.
gonna win,
Yeah.
beat up Wendy, right?
That's just showing you that it could
Don't be
get
playing
like
with
that.
these.
That's what I'm
Be
saying.
playing with these people. Don't be playing like when Lisa Ray was gonna whoop Nicole Murphy after she was sleeping with her husband when she was the first lady
Yep.
in that other country. She said, "Bitch,
Trying to tell you.
I thought
So it's just one of them things where he
what?"
can't. He has supposedly lost movie deals. I ain't gonna lie to you. He got this movie on Netflix that was good. It was called Blight. It was supposed to be a sequel. Now, so apparently, because of the slap, they pulled out of it. Whatever. But he still is winning. He got an Oscar that night.
They'll bring it
He's
back
that nigga.
after the 10 years. That's when they're gonna do that Blight part two, because they want to win the award. He can't go to no
But
award shows.
they should have
When
moved
he
off
go
of the
back, he gonna
momentum of
win.
it. You can't really bring that back now. I don't know. It's one of the things where the movie is so old now that no way.
You
But
sure? Oh, is that why he did Bad Boys?
I mean, it was a Netflix movie. I'm not saying he didn't
No,
make
I'm
no
just
money
saying,
off
like,
of
is
it.
that why he did Bad Boys? Like, let me go do some nigga shit.
I think that was in the works anyway, because niggas love them some bad boys. No matter how bad the movies get, niggas love bad boys.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I've thought
jeez.
I've thought about a lot. I've thought a lot about this over the last few years, and I really feel like this is a situation where Will could have, would have, and should have handled things with more maturity and understanding after that event. I mean, we all know
Mm,
violence is never the answer, and seeing that happen on such a massive stage was difficult. But if I'm being completely honest, I don't blame Will for snapping in that moment because he was like, because he told him to keep his wife's name out of his fucking mouth, and I
several times.
like that. I think it was twice, but that joke Chris gave about Jada's hair, if I remember to tell you the truth, it wasn't funny to begin with. I mean, when you actually look at the facts, this isn't just about hair. I mean, according to research from Medscape, adults living with alopecia face a significantly higher risk for psychiatric disorders. Women in particular show a much greater vulnerability to depression, anxiety, and even eating disorders. And when you factor in the post-COVID-19 period, we've seen we've seen up to a 70% increase in mental health conditions like suicide and eating disorders. So Jada's has been like so open and vulnerable about her struggle with alopecia, sharing how terrifying it was to lose handfuls of hair in a shower from what I've researched. And it's something she's been struggling with and deeply worried about for years. For many people, their hair is tied to their identity and those with alopecia resort to hair extension or full wigs just to avoid the humiliation and public scrutiny. And when you realize that the mental toll it takes, you see that the joke wasn't just poking fun. It was mocking a medical struggle that carries a heavy emotional burden.
I'll take that ChatGPT. I'll take it. I'll take that one.
That brings us to the end of another episode. To everyone listening at home, in your car, or wherever you may be, thank you for giving us your time and for being a part of this community. We never take it for granted that you choose to spend your day with us, diving into the conversations that matter. Don't forget to check the show notes in the description for all of the links and resources we mentioned today. If you haven't already, make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast platform and follow our socials to stay updated on everything coming up next. We'll be back in the next week with a brand new episode. But until then, stay curious, stay kind, and keep an eye on your own bubble. I'm your host, and this has been The Bubble Chat. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
We'll be back.